Right, so good evening to you. Obviously, this is us live right now on Zimai.com. If you hear the sound of my voice, do let me know where you're logging in from there. Type it in the comment box right there. I'm going to be starting straight away. What Walter Mzembi told me. Tunataka uzuao ini na Walter Mzembi. What Walter Mzembi told me. Are you ready? Come in, Zimbabweans. How many minutes do I need? How many minutes do I need to start? How many minutes do I need to start? Shall I give it 2 minutes? 2 minutes? Thank you. Tagwire, Tagwire, Tagwire. Yeah! Are they real comrades? Or Mugabe's mercenaries? Smith's mercenaries? Who got the badge, but never fought? Lead vocalists, who got the hands of the voters, huh? Not the comrades we know. Lead vocalists, who stained the war that's badge, huh? Not the ones from the front row. Philip Shiongwa, rich and loud, never saw him in the battle crowd. Where's Muzenda? Where's the truth? Chopped out with the Gamma Tax youth. Are they real comrades or players of golf on stage? Wearing fake badges just to earn that wage. We don't bow to the Philip type. We want the truth, not the propaganda hype. Right, we're starting right now, folks. Right. Okay, we're now starting. Thank you. Right, thank you very much, folks. Okay, I hope that people can hear me over there. Please just give me a wave or something. Type something there in the comment box. Mm. I'm just wondering why my video is not showing, but I'm sure people can hear me, right? Why is my video failing to show here? It looks like this is okay. Right, thank you. General Kayemba, how you doing? How you doing over there? Thank you very much. Well, folks, my name is Simba Chikanza, beaming to you live. It is 6 p.m. My session is not going to be too long. It's going to be as short and sharp as possible, but I'm going to be quite detailed. And when needed, I'm also going to go on video. So I'm engaging people. There's a trending topic that has bombed the internet, and it relates to the plight of the incarcerated former Foreign Affairs Minister, Walter Mzembi. And at present, it looks like the topic is double-sided. There's one that relates to his health. So people are asking us to check on him, publish on this. I had some people also asking, Simba, how come you are not screaming enough for Walter Mzembi? Some people felt, but those particularly who are deep inside ZANU-PF felt that Simba Chikanza is not screaming enough um, for Walter Mzembi. This is what was claimed to me, and I appreciate all the feedback that people give. I'm also going to give a little bit of content and context here. Folks, there is a lot of screaming that is happening for Walter Mzembi, I think. And we take feedback here where we might need to increase the volume. Do let me know. But I also would like to state that there is another side of it, one that is accusing certain people of being behind the Walter Mzembi debacle. What has ended up of Walter Mzembi today, that he is now in prison, and so it looks like there is that other discussion that is purely focused on who brought Walter Mzembe to Zimbabwe, who brought him here, who coerced him here, who lured him to Zimbabwe. And I'm not going to go into that. I'm just going to talk about my own experience, what Walter Mzembe told me. And I'm going to share, as I stated earlier on Twitter, that this is my own personal experience with Walter Mzembe, what I heard him talking with me, and how, what I see of this situation based on the evidence that I have. So I'm going to be sharing that, because very rarely do you have people giving or sharing their own personal experiences. A lot of the times people throw opinions, and opinions are important because they sometimes also form facts. But also a lot of times opinions can be grossly misleading, very misleading, in as much as they can be beneficial. Even those that are misleading sometimes can be beneficial. But we need tonight to focus on the facts. And I'm going to be sharing what I have. And maybe from this, people will get to understand why I am like I am right now, why I'm not finger pointing at anyone for for luring Walter Mzembe into Zimbabwe. Sometime, Zimbabweans, after the 2017 coup, Honorable Mzembe contacted me, and he just contacted me randomly. It was after the coup. And he shared with me something that was really deep. That message was to the effect that he was poisoned while he was a cabinet minister. He described to me roughly the number of people. He said a lot of people in the Oval Office, in the cabinet, this is what he said to me, were poisoned. And he asked me to investigate what is happening with the poisonings. Who is poisoning people? This was something that just came out of his desire to obtain information on who is poisoning, because he ended up having to leave Zimbabwe and go to South Africa to get treated. And so from then on, I did my own investigations. And I think people know I tend to pursue a matter, particularly when I see that it is relating to life and death. And I played my part, and what I managed to find out, I don't think I'm yet conclusive, but I found out something that is way deeper. I would, after that, have numerous other conversations with Walter Mzembi. Um, I would have numerous conversations with Walter Mzembi. And my conversations with him make me believe that his desire to get treatment was legitimate. I do not see anything. Someone has just shared something there and said, Simba, I think you should not share that now because it's not safe. Yeah, I'm not sharing anything further than than what is already in the public domain, which I'm just giving my own personal recollection of what I saw. And as I said before, the evidence that I saw make me believe his account for leaving or of leaving Zimbabwe to go to South Africa to get treated. Later on, there suddenly became a blackout about 2 years ago. And the former honorable minister became difficult to reach, even to call him, to speak with him. It became difficult. So from 2022, I said 2 years, it's actually 3 years. Kwapera three makore, 3 years have gone past. And he hasn't been communicating with me except one time when I had a phone call. Um, and I'll share about that phone call quickly because I think it can give a little bit of perspective. I wonder, okay, why he no longer was reachable. I wonder why. I wonder who he was speaking with. I wonder what was making him not to communicate with me. Um, because it was unusual, especially in the light of the kind of research that I was undergoing, that I was doing. And there's something else that I'm not in a position to spill out at present because I feel that it is legally inconvenient because the man is incarcerated. But I have to state that when I hear some people suggesting that someone lured Walter Mzembi to Zimbabwe, I would like to know who that person is, if there is such a person. And I do not think that person is Themba Mliswa. If there was anyone who would have made him or coerced him to get into Zimbabwe, why would it be Themba Mliswa? Why? Because I interviewed Themba. Themba Mliswa is one of the easiest people. And I think people have noticed over nearly 1.5 decades. Mliswa is open, he talks. So whoever persuaded him to come to Zimbabwe cannot be someone as easygoing as Themba Mliso. It has to be someone else. Kambi Mliswa. It doesn't make sense. And also, I've seen pictures being posted online saying that, oh, Themba Mliswa went and he met Walter Mzembi. So Themba Mliswa is the one who lured him to Zimbabwe. I have also met I've also met Themba Mliswa. I've spent days. Now, folks, I need people to know this. Ndakaspenda mazuva ndina Themba Mliswa tichitodla in Musame Hotel, Musame Hotera. Look at me here. That is a hotel in Switzerland. We were together there. I remember that night. I sat down there and I had a meal with Mliswa and a colleague of his. That night we spent, I think if not 2 hours, we're having the meal. And after that, I also, the following morning, we had breakfast. A very, very lengthy breakfast. And yeah, at none of those times that I was with Mliswa, and none of those times that I've been speaking with Mliswa, has he ever suggested that Simbachiganza consider coming to Zimbabwe. None. Hapana kana one time. Between Walter Mzembi and me, who should be lured to Zimbabwe more? Now, this is Simbachiganza speaking. I'm asking you Zimbabweans, ask yourself if someone is to be lured to Zimbabwe between me and Walter Mzembi, because I'm in the same shoes as Walter Mzembi. I've sat down, I've had meals with Themba Mliswa. I've interviewed him, I've talked with him, not just interviews, we have la. And then also, there's also the the one of poisonings. Now look, I'm not clearing Mliswa here. Mliswa could easily be like whatever it is that people describe. But I'm giving you my personal experience. I've never seen, if anyone was to be poisoned between me, I'm saying to be poisoned in South Africa or in Switzerland, between me and Walter Mzembi, who would it be? If anyone was to be intoxicated, let's say with Mutoriro or with a substance that should make you stupid so that you end up jumping on a flight and you fly back to Zimbabwe, between me and Walter Mzembi, who should be intoxicated? Who should be poisoned? Who should be manipulated? Who is the bigger target? I'm asking. Who is the bigger regime target? Hmm? And at this time, I myself had just embarrassed the regime. On this night, this very night, I had exposed Constantino Chiwenga and his propaganda person, Hopo Chingono, after the 2018 atrocities, the 2018 shootings, and the 2019 killings of 17 people and raping of 50 women. I had exposed these people. It was me. I can see here General Kayemba is saying here, oh, but Simba, at that time people didn't know you. Are you sure that people didn't know me in 2019? Are you sure people didn't? Yeah, this is an eight pandai fonera wanachiwenga vese my military generals are telling me that people didn't know me. Come on, General Kayemba, what are you saying? So I'm saying here, if if Walter Mzembi was was manipulated to come to Zimbabwe on this night or whenever that they were meeting, And yet, Walter Mzembi is in the same shoes as Simba Chiganza, who should have been lured more to come to Zimbabwe. And yet, I do not have a single message at all, any message whatsoever. Nothing. Not even a persuasion. Nothing. Not even an idea. Nothing. From Themba Mliso. Nothing. He knows what I believe in. He knows what I do. He knows my profession. And he respects that. And I'm sure deep in his heart, he would like me, maybe, to come back to Zimbabwe. Maybe. But he's never expressed it. So I do not see any, any reason to believe that Mzembi was lured by, by Mliswa. No, I don't. I don't. I don't see any basis. And so yesterday I brought Themba Mliswa here live. I interviewed him for over an hour. I asked people to also grill him. So I opened, I dropped the open mic for people to come in and ask him questions. N- Only one or two people asked him questions. He talked for most of the time of that 1 hour. At no time was there a crowd to ask him. There were just a crowd to listen to him. I think it was over 2,000 or so people, live viewers, or listening. But no one stood up. And so I find it not clear that certain people can be loading tweets, especially the same people who have been compromising the parliamentary democracy by harassing people, confusing people, many times falsely accusing people, causing confusion. They're the same people who are suddenly wanting to use the name Lisa to create a sympathy card as if they actually sympathize with the civil society when they're actually worse. Or maybe let me say, when they've demonstrated a character that seems worse than that of Themba Mliswa. So that's my commentary aside. That there's a time I want to say, when I received a phone call, and on this day it was the 15th of May 2022, and I received a phone call and it was a phone call from two people that I knew, and that was him, Walter Mzembi, and his colleague, the Xavier Kasukwere. And the third number was one from Kenya, a number from Kenya that I didn't have. Jonathan Moyo was someone who never shared his phone number. So all of a sudden I saw a third number. So I'd been speaking for over 2 minutes, but I was speaking casually because I was speaking to the other gentleman casually. At that time, there was some issue that had happened where I had exposed Emerson Mnangagwa's wife in May 2022. And then what happened was I then raised the question, who is the third person here? Because I found it unusual that someone would be here and I don't know them, and no one introduced them to me. And then also, by that time, you would have shared a lot of your things that you wouldn't casually say because it was a casual talk. It wasn't professional. It wasn't news. And then I I asked, look, who is this person? Who is this? Who is this third number? At that point, Jonathan Moyo just cut his phone and went. And what I was shocked was that Walter Mzembi never cared to explain to me, Simba, this was Jonathan Moyo. truth, the news, the future. Sin. The truth, the news. Right, good evening, folks. It's those who came late. I've just been doing a broadcast here of Walter Mzembi, the incarcerated former Foreign Affairs Minister. And yeah, I had to cut it short because there's some things that I would have shared that I was supposed to, but yeah, because of legal considerations, I can't offload them, and I've ensured that I'm only sticking particularly to stuff that is already in the public domain, but which I'm relating from what I was personally told, except a few one or two things that are quite close to do with me and my interaction with him. What I was told, including on the day that he entered Zimbabwe, and the phone calls that I got there, and which, yeah, I just relayed what happened on that day, and how those phone calls were geared at making me change my story so that it looks as if Walter Mzembi has not met Munangagwa at all. And so the gents who contacted me for that purpose are those that you see on the screen here. These are the two gents. They're colleagues of Mzembi's who had been, as they reported to me, sent by Mzembi to make me change that story so that it looks as if he had not met Emerson Mnangagwa. I still don't understand why Mzembi did not want me to let the public know that he met Emerson Mnangagwa. I don't understand why. Do you? Do you? I'm asking there. Do you? I said, I do not understand. I still don't. And yeah, I still don't. And what I was told was that I should edit the article and make it look like Mzembe came into Zimbabwe for just for a cultural program, excuse me, foreign diplomacy program that he's running with these two gents. Nothing else. And it's an organization, an international organization that is spearheading this program. And that's all. That's what I was told. So I don't get it when, yeah, I still don't get it why Mzembe did not want me to publish that he met Emerson Mnangagwa and was going to meet him the second time because he met him once in the morning. And on that day, he was going to meet him the second time. I'm not sure if the second meeting happened, but it was definitely on schedule because I looked at the schedule or at his travel schedule. So why? Why? People should ask themselves. And that's why I've just been saying here that the Walter Mzembe debacle requires a lot of study, and people should be very careful that they are not fed poison by a daddy character who has got a fake identity document, a man who calls himself Hopuo Rugoho Chingono. The man who has confused them, who has confused society, who has used journalism, talk to falsify that he was cleared, was police cleared by the British Embassy, that his multiple names and money that he illegally moved from the UK to Zimbabwe were cleared by the police. And a man who uses journalism talk to make people believe things that are totally and absolutely and dreadfully fake as that, in near efficaciousness as that the falsehoods of Maxo Chikumbutso, the fake inventor, who is also another fake name person. There's no one called Maxo Chikumbutso, and there's no one on earth who is called Hoporugo Chimono. If you believe there is such, believe to your own peril. These two characters are just as fake as Emerson Mnangagwa being portrayed as a train bomber. You need to understand the capacity, the mental energy that characters like Hopo Rugo Chingono have. They have a capacity that they can spend the whole night talking and drinking whiskey, and they don't stop, and they might not even sleep while they're confusing large crowds. So Zimbabweans need to be very careful. I'm saying it here. Be very careful that in as much as Themba Mliswa must be criticized, you're not being used by someone else who's just blowing up something, things that you already know. Who doesn't know that he was Mashinandi West chairman? Who doesn't know that he was a ZANU-PF, top ZANU-PF man? Who doesn't know his controversies and things? Who doesn't? Why wait to be fed by the same person who's been feeding false things to you in such a way that you have now ended up losing your own parliament? Your own parliamentary democracy is gone. Why? A man who has falsified so many things, confusing society under the guise of journalism. So, do you need Hope Oshimono to tell you about Themba Mlisa? Do you need to tell Hope Oshimono to read, to lecture to you? Do you need a character who's got a fake ID, a fake name, just like Maxo Chikumbutso, to tell you who Themba Mliswa is? If you need to know who Themba Mliswa is, you can find out on yourself. You can do your own research. You can go on the internet. You can phone him. You can interview him. You can bring. I brought him here last night, to speak, to address the people. So you don't need a daddy character, someone with a title that is a red flag on so many things. Another daddy character called Walter Masocha, people can Google him, Walter Masocha, was convicted in the UK just a few weeks ago. Finally convicted. So, folks, I think I'm done and dusted here. The question there should be: do you need a fake person, a person with a fake ID called Hopo Chingon to lecture to you something that you can find out about Themba Mliso on your own? Wakupakurirwa iwewe zvinhu unogona kuzviverengera wega woita data analysis yako wega, womubvunza wega Themba Mliso wachona womunza apa nyamwe anhu ese vezanu unovaunza panapa wovagirila, tinokupai, ndakakuunzirai panapa Axiria, mazimbabweans apo bvu, ndakakuunzirai aniko tagwirei, ndakakuunzirai vanhu vezanu vakawanda, ndakakuunzirai vekugold mafia vaya, ndakakuunzirai apapo makavagirila makadai, and you found it. Did you need a person with a fake ID to explain to you anything? Did you need a daddy character to explain to you who these people are? Question for you. Ndakubvunzai kamubvunzo, chipindurai. I'm going to be ending. I'm going to be crashing now. I'm hoping that people have got it. And thank you very much. This is the News Network Zimai. This is me, Simba Chikanza, beaming to you live here on your News Network Zimai. Thank you.
Mercenaries, Smith's mercenaries, who got the badge but never fought, who cut the hands of the voters,
Response not the comrades we know,
who stained the war vets badge,
not the ones from the front row.
Philip Chiongwa, rich and loud,
never saw him in the battle crowd. Where's Mzembi? Where's the truth? Chopped out with the Gamma Tax youth.
Are they real comrades or players of golf on stage? Wearing fake badges just to earn that wage. We don't bow to the Philip type. We want the truth, not the propaganda.
Are they real comrades or players of golf on stage? Wearing fake badges just to earn that wage. We don't bow to the Philip type. We want the truth, not the propaganda high.
Comrade Emerson came from jail, studied law then joined the tail. Wasn't from Magagao's fight, he replaced those erased from sight. Are they real comrades or mercs in disguise, with war vet badges and political lies? Tell the youth the truth tonight. Not every badge